From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Well, hello, this is Hashtag and you are welcome aboard. Right here is where we're going to tell you what's trending. He began to sing, she's our mama, like Remi Tinubu, the first lady, is the mother of Nigerians. So he was singing, now our mama, and he expected the students to respond, yeah, our mama, but they began chanting, now your mama, like an outright rejection of the first lady as the mother of the nation. And this has been trending online, I'm telling you. So we go straight to X to find out what Nigerians are saying about this particular story. Yeah, shall we? Yes. Okay, it looks like I'm going to take a short break, guys. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll go straight down to this hashtag. Stay with us.
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Welcome back. So I just got to take you straight to X, where people are talking about the alleged rejection of Nigeria's first lady by the nursing school, students of the nursing school in Abo, Delta State. Now let's get right down to it. Duke of Eze says, now your mama be this, so Delta nursing school students mock President Tinubu's wife during visit. And then we have more. Actually, Duke is responding to Sahara reporters who put up the post. Really, we'll move on to the next tweet, shall we? So Prince Xavier says Nigerians outrightly reject First Lady Remi Tinubu, declaring that she is not their mother and refusing to recognize her authority or relevance as a mother of the nation. This is something that would never have happened to Margaret Obi as Nigeria's first lady. Someone is using this as, an avenue to campaign for Peter Obi. Well, we have more to it. Let's take a look at them, shall we? Chilo says the same nurses that chased Remi Tinubu like a disaster are welcoming Peter Obi on a daily basis. Respect is earned and not forced. So that's a picture of Peter Obi with students actually saying welcome with big smiles on their faces to him. More tweets, let's take a look at them. Moscow O Ibha says, those nursing students in Agbo did Remi Tinubu dirty. What they did in that viral video isn't just bravery, but the right thing required of every Nigerian to do in this dictatorship disguised as democracy. Which kind of play be that? That's $1 billion question. Looks like lots of Nigerians are not happy with the present administration, and they are showing their unhappiness, really discontent towards the First Lady. Prince Savior again says, is that the same thing? That's the same tweet. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? So Trending Explains says Remi Tinubu is trending because the First Lady was embarrassed by students in Agbo Delta State. Now they've threatened the nursing student who made the video, forcing her to delete it and disable her TikTok account. Oluremi Tinubu visited a nursing school in her hometown in Delta, where she distributed 10,000 medical kits to midwives. Now the MC led a song to usher her in, singing, "Now our mama be this so." The students kept replying with, "Now your mama." Now, some political influencers are calling on the federal government to sanction the school, while some Nigerians are saying she deserves it for what her husband has put the country through. Meanwhile, the student who posted the video has been bullied and asked to delete it and her TikTok account. Right, guys, did you notice that part, the second paragraph, where Trending Explained says Remi Tinubu visited a nursing school in her hometown in Delta, where she distributed 10,000 medical kits to midwives. So there is a debate online right now that she is actually, the First Lady of Nigeria is actually from the Niger Delta region. But some are saying, guys, it's not true. She is from the south or western part of Nigeria. Well, we're going to investigate that particular matter further and bring you the update. In the meantime, this hashtag continues to trend. And according to reports you just saw, Trending Explained is saying that the student who put up the video has been asked to put it down, and they're even asking her to delete her TikTok page. Now, if that is true, we will investigate and we'll keep you posted. Let's move on now to the next hashtag, which is hashtag Natasha. You do remember that just yesterday we brought you reports. We even showed you a video of a crossfire between former Education Minister Obi Ezekwesili and a senator, actually. There was this back and forth heated debate, and the senator was seen asking, saying that Obi Ezekwesili was a disgrace to womanhood. I'm paraphrasing. Now he is saying that in his defense, she was the one that asked him to shut up, that she fired the first salvo, which triggered him to fire back. Now, that particular incident has led to this hashtag Natasha. So Senator Natasha put up a post today thanking Obi Ezekwesili for her selflessness, for her activism, for being a bright and shining star, for being an example of who and what a woman should be. Guys, let me just show you the tweet. Obi now responded and people are reacting. So let's take a look at the tweet put up by Senator Natasha, shall we? So, Natasha says, Senator Natasha Putti actually says, Dr. At Obi Ezex, ma'am, I apologize for the insults. Know you took them from me, for us, as a mother and as a leader. Know that you are a true icon of integrity, courage, and visionary leadership. Your unwavering commitment to good governance, education, and democracy continues to inspire generations. A champion of accountability, Nigerians appreciate you. I celebrate your brilliance, resilience, and selfless service. You are a hero. And then the love emoji follows there. So, Obi Ezekwesili replied. Let's take a look at it. Obi Ezekwesili says, very kind words, dear Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Yet to me, a torrent of insults from any source is but a little price to pay in our resolve to see a Nigerian that becomes. Our daughters and granddaughters must never inherit battles and wars we should have fought and won for them. An unjust society that silences women and vulnerable people can never become. We all must refuse that for Nigeria. We stand on. Wow, this is touching. Let's talk about this a little bit before we take a look at the reactions. You do remember that when Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan had brought up this case of sexual harassment. She's alleging that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, harassed her sexually, right? It's an allegation. It's in court at the moment. Now, it was said by lots of Nigerians across board that women were not standing by her, especially women in the Senate. But it looks like women like Obi Ezekwesili are standing by her. In fact, Obi, right from the word get-go, stood by her. And she would always post online to say, Natasha, you will never walk alone. So it looks like she's walking talk. Now, she was together with Abiola Akinode, lawyer representing Senator Natasha, and they were at the hearing just yesterday, the Senate Ethics Committee. And it was a fiasco, I can tell you that. Remember, we told you that Monday Ubani was the one that represented Godswill Akpabio, Abiola Akinode represented Natasha. Now, Barrister Akinode is saying that the person who presided over the hearing is biased, right, Imasuen, and he should recuse himself. He did that, and then the hearing was shut down. So the matter is in court. We await to see how that pans out. In the meantime, guys, this is a story breaking really. INEC has notified Senator Natasha Akpoti that her constituents have resubmitted, the request for her recall. It's like a Nigerian film, I'm telling you. Just yesterday, INEC had refused or turned down the recall request by constituents because it wasn't properly filed according to INEC. Today they resubmitted it, and INEC is saying, okay, this is in order. They've notified Natasha, and it looks like it's game on. Now, as this particular matter unfolds, we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, let's go back to reactions. People are reacting to Natasha's post, thanking Obi, and also Obi responding and saying, and we see you all the way. Let's take a look at the reactions. So J Jam says, so Madam Obi Ezekwesili went to the Senate Ethics and Public Petitions hearing but refused to swear to an oath and thereafter constituted herself in an unruly manner. Why is everyone around Natasha so unruly? Hear his side before you nail him. So that is the senator now that actually told Obi Ezekwesili to shut up. He said that he responded to her because she had refused to take an oath and then had the effrontery to tell him to shut up, and that provoked him. More reactions. Let's take a look at it. So Adiola says, that's him. 42. I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. So you see the bold caption there. 42-year-old Senator Onyekachi Nwabunyi insults former Minister Obi Ezekwesili, who, by the way, is 61 this year. Someone said that when he was, okay, let's not toe that line. Yeah, it might be stereotyping. Now, he says, this is someone that should be recalled. Senator Nwabunyi hurls abusive words at Obi Ezekwesili, calling her an insult to womanhood. During Senate hearing investigating Senator Natasha's sexual harassment petition against Senator Akpabio. Let's move on, shall we? Arise News says Kogi constituency should protest illegal suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. She was suspended while there was a pending court order, and beyond the legal requirement of 14 days, her constituency should not be pushed to submit a petition for her recall. National Coordinator Advocates for People's Rights and Justice Victor Giwa, who happens to be also Senator Natasha's lawyer. There's more tweets. There are more tweets, beg your pardon. Let's take a look at them. Arise News again says Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has embarked on over 20 projects: rehabilitation of schools, renovating of police stations, empowerment of young people. National Coordinator, Advocates for People Rights and Justice, Victor Giwa. Someone said online just last week, we showed you that tweet, where was this energy all the while? Why wasn't she doing this until now? Well, that's a billion-dollar question. Who knows? She probably might have been doing that. One more tweet. I think it's going to be the last tweet, and then we'll move on to the next hashtag. Arise News again. Obviously, this was an exclusive interview, and so they're dropping snippets of it online. Says the Senate Committee on Ethics Privileges is biased. That's coming from Victor Giwa. An independent committee should be set up to investigate Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's allegation. We are demanding the principle of fair hearing. National Coordinator, Advocates for People Rights and Justice, Victor Giwa. There you go. So that wraps it up for us on that particular hashtag. So the next hashtag now is hashtag Senator Shehu Sani. It's still along these lines, yeah. The thing that happened on the floor in the Red Chamber yesterday between Obi Ezekwesili and a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Sani is saying, former senator, oh no, he's actually once a senator, always a senator. Senator Shehu Sani is saying that if you are asked to shut up, is it an insult? I remember, and then we'll go on, shall we? So, that's not it. Hashtag Senator Shehu Sani. Thank you. This is the one I was looking for. And he says, can you please shut up? Can you please keep quiet? Come on, shut up. Will you shut up? Will you keep quiet? Silence, please. You better keep quiet. You better shut up. Close that your mouth. Please, let's have one house. All have different meanings. People are responding to this particular tweet. Let's take a look at them. So Lucas says, if one asks, are you stupid? Doesn't mean that individual is stupid. It is just a question. The best answer to read is no. Easier said than done. Well, Lucas goes on to say, when someone asks you, can you please shut up? It is not an insult, but an appeal from the individual to be quiet. Many of our politicians need to go back to school. Too sad for such to cause a public uproar. Let's go on. Ben Samuel says, when someone is disturbing your peace and nearly busting your eardrums, sometimes a polite shut up is necessary. Gosh, how polite can shut up be to just make you answer calmly and not be provoked? Well, let's move on. Ben plus Bella Diaspora says, she pressed the trigger and he fired. Now, can we have a ceasefire? Aha, this reminds me of the Russian-Ukraine war and the war between Israel and Hamas. But not to downplay any of these scenarios, I'm telling you. But a ceasefire is always a good thing, especially for the vulnerables. Well, let's move on to the next one, shall we? So, Philip Okpala says, dear Senator Sani, I have always admired you, but I will wholesomely differ with you on this. What are we breeding in this country? 42-year-old Senator Onyekachi Nwabonye insults former Minister Obi Ezekwesili. It's alluding to the fact that the senator is way, way younger than the former Minister of Education. Let's move on to the next tweet, shall we? So, Onogu Mohammed says, accept silence, please, and please. Let's have one house. None of these should be used where adult persons converge to resolve an issue. So he's saying, out of all the options Senator Sani gave, except to say silence, please, and then let's have one house. You can't use any of those others. It will be termed rude. Well, we move on now. A.S. Emmanuel says, in a meeting like that, please, let's have one house would have been better. Respect is reciprocal. Yeah. So there's been lots of chatter regarding this particular matter, and it looks like people are going to keep talking about it. And like we always promise you, as the event unfolds, we will keep you posted. That is the last hashtag as it pertains to hashtag Senator Shehu Sani. Next hashtag now is hashtag NYSC. So the core members are very rich right now. That's what some of them are saying. In fact, let me not go ahead of myself. So the federal government has kept its promise, and they are now paying core members the 77,000 naira monthly allowance. Yay! This was promised. This promise was made September 2024. That was last year, but it's just happening now. The federal government says it's going to be backdated to March. Yeah. So yeah, backdated to March. Well, let's see how that goes. But in the meantime, the alerts are beginning to pouring. They are showing evidence of it and all of that. And the core members are very, very happy with the federal government right now. And they are all over X, I'm telling you, with someone even saying that they will have to go get a weapon because they are very rich right now and they might be attacked. So let's go online to find out what the core members are saying. Yeah. So, Nigeria Story says, NYSC has started paying core members 77K as promised. And that is a credit alert. Yeah, that's a credit alert to that effect. More tweets. Let's take a look at them. Ata Ako says, NYSC don't they pay 77K. Now today waka with weapon. Country no safe for rich people. Are you kidding me? And there's a weapon behind him. Well, let's move on, shall we? Dr. Pecking says NYSC core members have finally received their updated allowance of 77K. Rai, yeah, is the hero here. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. All core members in Nigeria, currently 7, should send her 10K each. Guys, do you remember Rai? Rai happened to Nigeria just last week when she came online and vented like there was no tomorrow. She actually cried. She said the cost of living was too high. She's a core member serving in Lagos. She's actually from Cross River. She's serving in Lagos. And she was like, in the video, we played it for you. She actually called President Tinubu the worst president ever. And that the presidency, that very day, immediately replied with someone allegedly saying that one of the spokesperson has said she deserved a capital punishment. That irked Nigerians, and people came online to say there is no way you can say that. She's a Nigerian who is, you know, airing her grievances. Activist Omoyele Sowore actually hired attorneys to defend her. They went to the NYSC, who asked her to report herself, and it looked like nothing came out of that meeting. It looks like this particular matter has died down, but people are saying NYSC is paying the 77K because of what she did. So they are saying, guys, pour the accolades, and the accolades are coming in. Let's take a look at more tweets, shall we? So Abbas says NYSC began to pay 77K because of Rai, and that's how they're looking pretty in pink. Let's move on. Nana says NYSC is paying 77K. I need account manager, please. I can't handle this wealth. This one cracks me up, I'm telling you. Let's move on from Nana to someone else. King Joe too says, this girl take one for the team. NYSC core members should be grateful. Okay, are you saying this girl took one for the team? Yeah, NYSC core members should be grateful. All right, let's move on, shall we? A Lobby Star says, Lobby Stars, that reminds me of Lobby Stars of Benue. Well, Lobby Stars says that's how a lady called Rai ended up making the 77K NYSC allowance effective. So it looks like that is storytelling there, and they're telling the kids, the father is telling the kids how it came about after activist Rai spoke up. I think that's about it on that particular hashtag. Yeah, that is the last one. Let's move on to the next hashtag now, which is hashtag Pella. So Pella is trending because he is an influencer, yeah, and he came out to say today that people should not complain on TikTok TikTok is where he made his fame. So it's like this is him guarding his territory. And he's like, guys, make una no spoil market for me. Like, don't pour sansan in my gari. Sansan. Well, Pella is saying that don't complain about Nigeria on TikTok. Just leave it like that. If you want to complain, go to another app, but let it not be TikTok. So his fans are saying, you want to try us? We are going to cancel you like we are canceling Mobad right now. So people actually, it's a major backlash. He's about to lose millions of fans. And you know, if that happens, that's the end of his business, so-called business. So that's why he's trending. We'll take a look at what people are saying online, shall we? So, Yaba Left Online says, if you want to really rant, go to Instagram, go to the market. Don't rant here on TikTok. If they ban TikTok, that's where we will have issue. Pella begs. That tone is not begging really. Looks like a command. Well, let's move on to the next tweet, shall we? Trending explained, this is the cocoa of the matter, so I'm just going to go through it. Pella is trending because the TikTok master is about to lose his 9.6 million account. That's the number of followers he has. For saying Nigerians complaining are doing it for TikTok likes and he will never speak against the government. So TikTok has started reporting the Lagos Silverbird Influencer of the Year. By the way, he won that award not too long ago. En masse for saying Nigerians should stop complaining about the government on his TikTok. Let me take that paragraph again. So TikTok has started reporting the Lagos Silverbird Influencer of the Year en masse for saying Nigerians should stop complaining about the government on his TikTok. That they should take it to other platforms to prove they are not doing it for clout. He added that he's also suffering, but he can't speak against them because he's a public figure. And if anything happens to him, that statement is incomplete. He goes on to say the most Nigerians will do is justice for Pella. Okay, so he says if anything happens to him, the most Nigerians will do is justice for Pella, which they did for Mobad and still abandoned him. This didn't go well with Nigerians across the internet. Accordingly, they started reporting his account, with many questioning how he became famous. While his fans insist it is not Nigeria's problem, neither is it the cause of the problems. It's yet to address the backlash. Okay, before we continue with other tweets, I'm going to re-say a statement I said earlier on, that his fans actually are threatening to cancel him just the way they cancelled Naira Marley, not Mobad. Mobad is the one Nigerians are actually standing for, and they're standing against Naira Marley because they're pointing accusing fingers at him for the death of Mobad. Now they're saying they're going to do the same thing to Pella if he does not withdraw his statement. So some people have come online to say that he's too young and he probably got rich quick. Some also are saying, have mercy on him, like he's just 18 and he probably doesn't know, so much about life. Not to say too much about this, let's go online and see what people are saying, shall we? Okay, PAP says, Papi says, getting famous without education is the reason we have Pella and Portable as celebrities. Let's go on to the next one. Ariyibi says, the fact that Pella is doing an adult thing now at a young age doesn't automatically make him an adult. And the fact that someone has talent doesn't automatically mean sense. Just give him chance. More, let's take a look at them. Yaba Left Online says, Pella is just 18. He just started life. It's so unfair. Yes, he's rude. He talks to people anyhow. He's not the only one who does that. But he's just a kid. Do you know how many people he has helped on this platform? Lady pleads with people bashing him online. All right, so Pella has got an advocate for him there. Let's take a look at more tweets, shall we? All right, that looks like the last tweet regarding that particular hashtag Pella. Pella has actually not said anything about the bashing he's receiving online. But fingers crossed, he might just say something. And if it does, I'll let you know. Last hashtag for today is hashtag Zelensky. So I'm taking you right out of Nigeria and I'm going to take you to France. Yeah, so you don't know him, Zelensky, the embattled Ukrainian president, embattled because there's a raging war right now between Ukraine and Russia. But there's been talks of a ceasefire, yeah? And European countries are coming together to say if there's going to be a ceasefire, we will ensure that Ukraine gets a good deal and that America doesn't side with Russia because Donald Trump and Putin are friends. They are saying you are not going to let these two walk all over Zelensky and his country, Ukraine. So Zelensky is in Paris today. He's in France actually today for two purposes. So we'll go online to find out what people are saying regarding this particular visit. Let's take a look. So, Western at net like the sky. Western at net like the sky says Zelensky and Macron met at the Elysee Palace, a meeting of the coalition of the willing to ensure Ukraine's security is scheduled for tomorrow. All right. So AMK says the meeting between Macron and Zelensky has begun in Paris. The president of Ukraine arrived in the French capital on the eve of the summit of the coalition of the willing countries, which will be held on March 27. That will be tomorrow, with the participation of leaders of more than 30 countries. That's a good number. Let's move on now. Genius Rogue X says Zelensky's Parisian date night sounds like it. That's him looking cozy with Macron there. And he says Ukraine's star player, that's the president he's referring to, cozying up with Macron again just in time for tomorrow's coalition of the willing summit in Paris. Are they plotting war moves or just sipping wine? And then he says, follow the diplomatic dish. What looks like coalition of the willing is actually going to stand by Ukraine, like we said earlier on, basically European countries. Especially, you know what happened yesterday, how a particular message was sent via WhatsApp. Trump's team, especially the security secretary, sent a message and allegedly contained war plans. And this message was sent to a journalist, a reporter who does not have security clearance. So that has been trending. It's still up today. People are demanding that the defense secretary resigns. Yeah, and then he came up to say, not just him, his principal Trump as well, that the European countries are solely depending on the US for security. That ex-European countries, and they're gathering together to discuss that tomorrow, together with how to protect Ukraine. So, you see, it's a double-edged sword. I think about 2 more tweets to go, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's take a look. No report says Zelensky arrived in France for a planned visit. He will attend the 80th anniversary of the Allied landings in Normandy. That was an intervention in World War II. And then it goes on to say more French aid to Ukraine is also expected to be announced. Absolutely. Last but not least, Kyiv Post says Vladimir Zelensky has arrived in France to participate in events commemorating the Allied landing in Normandy during World War II. He also has important meetings and events planned, including with US President, #Biden. Are you kidding me, Biden? You mean Trump? And French President, #Macron. All right, so that wraps it up for us on that particular hashtag and this edition of Hashtag Today. Big thanks, in fact, maximum respect to all those who contributed to making the show a success. Bigger thanks goes to you for watching. Why don't you keep it with me again, same time, same station, for more updates. Until then, I am Vivian Oguche. Have a fantastic night. Bye.
world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest. It's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
It's Ramadan. It's the season of sharing and caring. As Muslim faithfuls all over the world pray and fast, may peace reign all over, especially in troubled regions. Allah's blessing to us all. May the supplication of every sincere heart be heard. Ramadan Kareem, from all of us at Voice of the People Television.
Views on the street,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. People's Voice, Mondays through Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. To know happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more.
Join me on Sundays every 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Voice of the People TV.
Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Are you ready to connect with distinguished Nigerians around the world? The Diaspora Perspective is here to share the views of Nigerians in the diaspora on burning issues.
From the street of New York, the royal cities of London, and the bustling cities of Europe, Voice of the People Television brings to you a roundtable and collage of interesting views from Nigerians in diaspora.
Join the host of the show and some Nigerians in diaspora, Dr. Damages, the flagship, Show, and KJ, as they discuss the experiences, challenges, and triumphs of Nigerians living abroad.
Discussing and analyzing everything from politics, culture, policies, career success, and how Nigerians are staying connected to their roots. Showing every Saturday by 2 p.m. West African Time and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The Diaspora Perspective, giving a voice to Nigerians abroad. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health,